I've been getting too many comments that I'm starting to look like Santa Claus, or I will look like Santa Claus because I keep saying I won't shave until we get stimulus checks. Well, folks, now I'm putting the fedora on, okay? So hopefully I don't look like Santa Claus anymore. Hey everyone, me Kevin here. Where do we stand today as of Friday 18th on the next rounds of stimulus, and what does our timing look like? Let's do a quick recap of what's going on, along with some of the new information that's going to give us a little bit of insight into how these negotiations are actually unfolding. First, we already know that the Problem Solvers Caucus proposal provides plenty of double stimulus check potential. Potential is the key word right now. One check in October, one in March. The bill is loaded up with things we're looking for, like extending unemployment for 13 weeks or more, providing a second PPP loan, providing rental assistance, school assistance, money for testing, tracing, and treatment. All of these are very important, especially rental assistance. Heck, yesterday I made a housing crash update video about the housing crisis in America, and we now have fewer tenants paying rent by the second week of September than we have had at any point during this entire pandemic. Unfortunately, though, as much as we like this Problem Solvers Caucus proposal, it is only a slideshow of about 11 pages right now, and we still need this slideshow to be turned into a, well, probably 500-page bill. That's when the lobbyists and special interests come in and say, I'll write that for you, and they put in all their little loopholes, which takes a while to debate. Now, there is still hope that this can get done next week, but right now, all we have is hope. It is useful, though, to understand the two negotiations that are going on, as well as more and more evidence coming out around the misleading nature of the unemployment data. Let's start with unemployment data. I quickly want to mention that many economists are freaking out about the unemployment data, mostly because the unemployment data falls short in exactly the kind of situation we're in right now, a pandemic. The reason is a lot of people who were full-time workers have been cut to part-time workers, but they're still considered fully employed by the BLS report. That's not good. That's the report that tells us what the unemployment rate is. You also have people who haven't been looking for work for 4 weeks because they're stuck at home trying to teach their children all the schoolwork they get loaded up with from their teachers, and now all of a sudden parents are becoming teachers and not employees. Those people don't have a job, well, beyond helping their kids, and they're considered not on the unemployment rolls. That is, they're not counted as unemployed. Even though they're technically unemployed, they're not counted as unemployed. So many economists are freaking out that, well, this is one of the reasons we have a stalemate in Congress, is because we're using these antiquated metrics to understand what the heck is actually going on in our economy. It's like, oh yeah, unemployment going down, stocks going up, people must be good. No. It doesn't work that way. It's frustrating. It's stupid. Economists want to pull their hair out. Heck, Jerome Powell lost it during his speech. I mean, he threw up his hands, hopeless about his powers. Quick reminder to get your free stock worth up to $1,600 with Webull. Just deposit $100 and they give you up to $1,600. And it doesn't help that pretty much anybody with senator in their name right now is just bagging on the Problem Solvers Caucus proposal, saying there's next to no chance it's going to get done. But the reality is anybody with the word senator in their name or title doesn't have power right now. The Senate has no power. They want to go home early. They want to go back to their districts early so they could spend more time campaigning. Yeah, that's actually a fact. They're trying to take a week off early to go home early. But eyes right now instead are focused on where it matters, or should be at least, and that's the House, Nancy Pelosi, and the White House. That's because if the House and the White House agree to a deal, it's very likely to pass the Senate. They won't need more than a few or a handful Republicans to flip to actually get a deal done. And with Donald Trump's pressure, that's pretty much certain. So right now, next week is the target for actually having a compromise bill that could get voted on. This particular target is one that Mark Meadows has been holding out hope for when he said on Wednesday, we have 7 to 10 days to get this done. On the Problem Solvers Caucus proposal, there are currently 2 negotiations going on. One is a public negotiation. This is where you see Donald Trump trying to pressure Republicans to go up in the stimulus package size. Republicans, publicly though, are still trying to go down on the stimulus package size, and Nancy Pelosi is holding firm at $2.2 trillion. But then you have the behind-the-scenes negotiation, which honestly should be out in the open so we could know who to blame for holding things up. But it's behind the scenes, and based on reports from people familiar with this behind-the-scenes negotiation, Nancy Pelosi is speaking directly with Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin to agree to a deal with Donald Trump and the White House before bringing something up for a vote next week. This is leaving all eyes on Mnuchin and Pelosi this weekend, and remember, it's not uncommon for both Pelosi and Mnuchin to speak to the media to give us an update this weekend, so we'll stay tuned for that. Keep in mind that 2 days ago, Mark Meadows was extremely optimistic about the Problem Solvers Caucus proposal, saying that if these are the guardrails of the plan, we can talk and we can get this done. However, formal progress has yet to be seen in the public negotiation, and that's creating a lot of frustration, and it's actually bringing up talks over something known as a discharge petition. This is where Republicans or Democrats in the House could force a vote on a bill without Nancy Pelosi, basically vacating the chair or removing her power and taking over instead. For Republicans to do this, they would need 20 Democrats to support this, which that's unlikely to happen. And if Democrats do this, well, they'll probably create a lot more divisions in the House right before the election. Also, remember that Donald Trump still has the outstanding threat that he may decide to send stimulus checks himself if Congress does not act next week. He may also extend unemployment and provide aid for airlines, which they were in Washington yesterday begging for aid. In fact, recall that the HEALS Act proposal and the Problem Solvers Caucus proposal both offered about $25 billion in aid to farmers. Well, as is characteristic of Donald Trump, trying to do what he can on his own, Donald Trump announced yesterday a $14 billion aid to farmers package beginning on Monday. The USDA will host sign-ups for direct payments for farmers through September 21st, all the way through December 11th. Following Trump's eviction ban, evictions finally declined in the second week of September. On TikTok and WeChat, if a deal is not struck between the US TikTok, WeChat, and American companies by Sunday, then as of Sunday, no one will be able to download WeChat or TikTok after Sunday midnight. The US will then also begin blocking some of the infrastructure that makes TikTok work by November 13th, along with WeChat being blocked as well. Some of the WeChat might actually end up getting blocked earlier than that. So download them, but you might start seeing the service degrade over the next few weeks until the deal is actually struck. On unemployment payments, 17 states have pending payments, 7 states have depleted their payments, and all have started paying except South Dakota, which will not. On stocks are rebounding today after a sharper pullback yesterday. Neil Kashkari, one of the 2 members of the Federal Reserve Board to dissent on the vote to keep rates at 0, released a statement this morning saying he only voted no because he wants the Fed to promise low rates longer until we have, quote, sustained 2% inflation. Tesla regained its losses from yesterday just ahead of Battery Day on Tuesday. Lemonade has been on a 4-day winning streak. Recent IPOs like Nikola and Snowflake continue their losses, and both Redfin and Apple are approaching my buy targets as their shares are slipping. Thanks so much for watching. Get your free stock, get your life insurance, and of course, check out those courses in the links below.